Yeah, I'm sorry, Gavin. I just want to summarize this up hopefully for the last point. I've been trying to say this is so good for me because that's how I look at it. I'm glad this song put it in perspective for me. If you go back to my contents, if you had time, I'm sure you guys wouldn't have time. But if you did have time, if people had time, you can see that I said that's not said it, but I was alluding to what I'm going to say. I've been trying to say that. I don't know. I couldn't understand it. See, when I was going, Tribe and Tribulation is my Bible. Then we get to the point, somehow we get to judging our parents because they became maybe a little drink or did some terrible things or unpleasant. I ain't gonna say terrible things, this thing. And it's mostly probably, if you look at it in that day and time, it wasn't just for no sporadic reason, man, because it was a little tougher back then. Probably was for survival skills. And they had to have a drink or two. They were trying to make it. You got to get back in your time. And then we go to church, and I get that the church is the God. I mean, you want to throw all your stuff away about what I heard people say. Well, my daddy or mama was a this or they this or that. That's part of the tribulation of your church. And I don't mean to be. I'm gonna calm down. Hey, Bible. Yeah, I'm gonna let Gerald. Hey, this Bible man, he gets upset because he just feel like people are trying to give more credit to something they got introduced to later on. And it's sort of like subside from the family uh, uh, tribe and tribulation that they went through to get you to the point where you are at. They sacrificed too. But we so easily forget about that. I guess we get in a way that if the tribe and tribulation wasn't pretty, then the church guideline put it in a perspective for you as you go to church. Then it seems like we got to try to start looking at our parents, well, they did this and they did that, and my father did this. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, see, I'm not getting. I don't want to just like we give all the credit to the church. What your family was doing for you when you didn't know about church, whether they was going to church or not, they were going to church taking care of your butt. Tribe and tribulation. It was tough out there in the 60s, 50s, and 40s, and probably a little further then. Tribe and tribulation, baby, it's my church. You know, I'm gonna not just gonna discredit my. I know you got to go find your own way and this, that. But when I hear people say they want to see, don't. For me, tribe and tribulation of my family, as I watch from a kid person, it's my church. And I'm not going to discredit, regardless of what they had to go through. Do you go through stuff with your family right now? Even though you may have a better way, a better life, or this, that, you still got problems. Still go through stuff in your family. Don't your family don't try to discredit our families. That's what it seemed like to me when and then it seemed like, because when you start judging, that'd be okay if you said my family had a rough time, but I just hear people, I would even say it, I don't see how we just not letting we going to church and meet other people, then they got a guy